Ladies and gentlemen, we just saw Bo Nickal get pretty humbled, I would say. RDR, Reinier de Ridder, hands him his first loss in MMA, and it looked like two complete different level of fighters in there tonight. Obviously, Bo Nickal, very hyped up with a big wrestling background, pretty much as good as wrestlers get, right? Guys, this is mixed martial arts, and tonight was a great reminder of that. Reinier de Ridder, someone who is very experienced in MMA, not necessarily in the UFC, but the guy has real grappling skills. And like we saw tonight, some pretty deadly skills in the clinch. He has a great ability to flow between the ranges of martial arts, striking to the clinch to grappling. And he just looked so much more comfortable in there than Bo doing all those things. Like Bo Nickal, even though he had some good positions in the first round, expended way too much energy, jumped on a guillotine that wasn't really there. You really saw the experience of Reinier de Ridder tonight shine through, and honestly made Bo look like a bit of an amateur in there. Like, for someone who was so hyped up, I thought the odds were absolutely nuts. I'd expressed concerns when this matchup was first announced. Reinier de Ridder, someone who is very experienced in all of MMA, like I said, and even though he hasn't shown that in the UFC, like, he's coming off two good wins, has fought such a high level of competition than Bo Nickal has. That, like I said, those odds coming in tonight were, yeah, quite surprising to me. And RDR just took the fight by the scruff of the neck. Like, he was never going to lose this fight. From the very opening bell, he put the fight on Bo Nickal. And like I said, had him really expending a lot of energy and was not afraid to grapple with Bo Nickal, was close to taking him down a few times even. Really trusted his skills, his experience in the grappling ranges to get it done. And when he got on top of Bo Nickal, two very different levels of grappling on the mat. I know Bo Nickal's probably having a lot of success in the training room against these good grapplers, but in a fight, when you're all that adrenaline and you're expending so much more energy than you would in the training room, things are completely different, man. And RDR just looked so much more comfortable in there. Bo Nickal suffers that first loss, like I said, and I think it's going to be a tough one to swallow because it really showed levels. Like, he was never really in this fight. Some people scored the first round for him. I thought it was a clear round for RDR, had the better positions. Even though he was on bottom for a little bit, like, Bo Nickal really did no damage, was never threatening at all, got outstruck pretty cleanly. And those knees in the clinch from RDR, which is what led to the finish, were beautiful. Like, his ability to keep the fight moving and to keep putting damage on Bo Nickal in these awkward positions, continuing to make Bo Nickal fight hands, and just digging those knees into the body in that clinch is what broke Bo Nickal. And you saw him sort of quit, like, up against the fence right before the finish. Like, you could tell he wanted out of there. That body was hurt. And then RDR has such a cold finish to the fight, catches Bo Nickal with a beautiful step-in knee as Bo's crashing the distance. So, yeah, beautiful performance by RDR. And he calls out Strickland. I'd love to see that fight. I think RDR, yeah, he was fighting a little bit below his level of competition with his first three guys. So get him into the top five, because very big guy for middleweight. And like I said, a very put together game. And he knows where he has success and does not hesitate getting the fight there. Let me know what you guys thought about not only RDR, but where Bo Nickal goes from here, because, like I said, it was a pretty humbling loss to take. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you could like, comment, subscribe, I would really appreciate that. And we will chat soon.